Hello guys, welcome to the Expensive Coins History channel. If you've ever emptied your pocket at the end of a long day and heard that quiet metallic rattle, you probably didn't think twice about the small silver coins slipping across your palm. Most people don't. They see spare change as noise, as leftovers from real money. But every now and then, history hides inside the ordinary, waiting patiently for someone observant enough to notice. Today, we begin with a coin that most collectors once ignored. A coin that traveled through countless hands, vending machines, and glove compartments before quietly gaining a reputation that few saw coming. The 1998 Australian 5-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like any other 5-cent piece. Small, lightweight, practical. No gold cine. No dramatic size. No obvious reason to treat it with reverence. And that's exactly why it's so fascinating. The greatest stories in coin collecting rarely begin with something that looks valuable. They begin with something overlooked, something underestimated, something that sat unnoticed while the world rushed past it. In 1998, Australia was in a period of steady transition. The country was stable, modernizing, moving forward in quiet confidence. Coin production during this time was efficient and routine. Millions of coins were struck to keep daily commerce flowing smoothly. The 5-cent denomination, already one of the smallest in value, was treated as a necessity rather than a treasure. It was the coin you received without thinking and spent without hesitation. A coin meant to circulate, not to be admired. But time has a way of rewriting the meaning of ordinary objects. Coins are not just currency. They are survivors. They travel. They endure friction, heat, scratches, neglect, and still remain as physical witnesses to the era that produced them. Every scratch becomes part of a journey. Every faded edge becomes proof of survival. And the 1998 5-cent coin has lived a long, unpredictable life. Collectors who now examine these coins often speak about a certain presence they carry. Not because of flashy design, but because of what they represent: endurance. The echidna on the reverse, detailed yet compact, symbolizes resilience in its own right. A creature covered in protective spines, quiet but strong, surviving in harsh landscapes. Somehow, it feels fitting that such an animal would appear on a coin that collectors would later recognize for its hidden strength. For years, the 1998 issue moved silently through circulation. It wasn't widely discussed in collector circles. It didn't dominate auction headlines. It didn't spark rumors in coin forums. Instead, it did something far more interesting. It matured, like a story aging in a sealed envelope, waiting to be opened at the right moment. The shift didn't happen overnight. It never does. In the world of coin collecting, value often emerges slowly, like a shadow forming at sunset. Small patterns begin to appear. Fewer high-quality examples surface. Collectors start noticing differences in strike sharpness, surface wear, and preservation levels. Conversations begin quietly, almost privately. Then, gradually, curiosity turns into demand. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1998 Australian 5-cent coin is how condition plays a role in its evolving story. Unlike coins that were instantly preserved in mint sets, many 1998 coins were heavily circulated. They lived hard lives. That means finding one in exceptional condition today is not as simple as opening an old jar. It requires patience, attention, and sometimes luck. Imagine a man in his 40s or 50s, someone who has worked hard for decades, sitting at a table late at night. Maybe the house is quiet. Maybe the television hums softly in the background. In front of him is a small pile of coins he has gathered over time. Not because he was a professional collector, but because something inside him always believed that history hides in small things. He picks up a coin, turns it under the light, studies the surface. Most are ordinary, but every now and then one feels different. He can't explain why. It's a subtle instinct, built from years of observation. That instinct is what separates casual handlers from true finders. And the 1998 coin has rewarded that instinct more than many expected. Over time, collectors began to realize that certain preserved examples carried a quiet rarity. Not because they were never minted, but because they were rarely saved properly. Survival became the defining factor. There's a psychological element here that resonates strongly with mature collectors. People between 35 and 65 understand time differently. They've seen trends come and go. They've watched objects once dismissed become valuable. They understand patience. And coin collecting at its core is about patience. It's about seeing beyond the present moment and recognizing what time might reveal later. The 1998 5-cent coin began appearing more frequently in conversations among experienced collectors. Not loud, sensational conversations, but thoughtful ones. Discussions about preservation rates. Observations about surface quality. Quiet acknowledgments that something interesting was unfolding. It wasn't hype. It was realization. And realization is powerful. Because once collectors realize that a coin has been underestimated, behavior changes. People begin checking drawers, revisiting old collections, examining coins they once ignored. And with each rediscovery, the coin's story grows stronger. What makes this coin especially compelling is its accessibility. Unlike rare gold pieces locked away in vaults, this coin lived among everyday people. It passed through the hands of shopkeepers, travelers, workers, and children. It witnessed ordinary life. That connection makes it deeply personal. It transforms collecting from a distant hobby into an intimate search. There's also a quiet thrill attached to coins like this. The idea that something small, something once dismissed, could carry meaningful value later. Not just financial value, but symbolic value. A reminder that not everything important announces itself loudly. Some things whisper. As interest grew, well-preserved 1998 coins started drawing attention in private sales and specialized collector circles. Not every coin, of course. The majority remain common. But the best examples, those that escaped years of harsh circulation, began standing apart. Their surfaces told a different story. Their details remained crisp. Their luster, though subtle, hinted at a past untouched by heavy wear. This is where the emotional side of collecting truly emerges. Because finding such a coin is not just about money. It's about discovery. About the moment when realization hits. That quiet pause when you hold something small and understand that it carries more weight than it appears. Those moments stay with collectors. They become stories retold over years, sometimes decades. And let's be honest, many collectors in their later years are not chasing noise. They are chasing meaning. They've outgrown trends. They value substance. A coin like the 1998 Australian 5-cent fits perfectly into that mindset. It doesn't rely on flash or exaggeration. It builds its reputation slowly, through survival and recognition. Over time, as market awareness increased, exceptional examples began achieving surprising attention. Not explosive, overnight hype, but steady, undeniable respect. The kind of respect that grows quietly and then suddenly feels obvious in hindsight. That's often how true collectible value forms. Not through sudden spikes, but through gradual understanding. Imagine revisiting a small tin box you haven't opened in years. Maybe it sat on a shelf, forgotten. Inside are coins collected casually without a grand plan. You sift through them, not expecting much. Then you notice a familiar design. A small silver coin, 1998. You pause. You look closer. The surface seems cleaner than the rest. The details sharper. For a moment, time slows. That moment alone is worth more than numbers on paper. Because collecting is not just about valuation. It's about connection. The connection between past and present. Between memory and discovery. Between patience and reward. And the 1998 5-cent coin captures that connection in a uniquely powerful way. It reminds us that value often hides in plain sight. That overlooked things can gain significance. That time can transform the ordinary into the meaningful. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that paying attention still matters in a world that moves too fast. As collectors continue to revisit overlooked denominations and years, coins like this continue to gain quiet recognition. Not every example will change a life, but the possibility itself is enough to keep the search alive. Enough to keep people checking jars, revisiting collections, and listening closely to that faint metallic sound that most people ignore. And that is where the real magic lies. Not in guaranteed outcomes, but in the possibility of discovery. The possibility that something small, something patient, something quietly waiting, might one day reveal a story far bigger than its size suggests. Now, as we step back and reflect on the journey of the 1998 Australian 5-cent coin, one thing becomes clear. This is not just about metal. It's about perspective, about seeing what others overlook, about understanding that time reshapes value in ways we rarely predict. And for those who have spent years learning, observing, and waiting, that realization carries weight. Because sometimes the most powerful finds are not the ones loudly advertised. They are the ones quietly waiting in places we almost forgot to look. The story continues, and this time we turn our attention to the 1999 Australian 5-cent coin, a sibling to the 1998 issue but with its own quiet, intriguing narrative. On the surface, it's almost indistinguishable from its predecessor. Same size, same echidna design, same practical role in everyday transactions. Yet, in the world of collectors, subtle differences can define destiny. While the 1998 coin benefited from incremental recognition over time, the 1999 coin faced its own challenges, particularly because so many of its examples endured heavy circulation and suffered the marks of daily life. Bad condition doesn't always mean worthless. In fact, for experienced collectors, bad condition tells a story all its own. Every scratch, dent, and faded edge becomes a historical fingerprint, a testament to a coin's journey. The 1999 5-cent coin, worn and weathered, survived where many others may have been lost or discarded. That survival itself is noteworthy. In a world dominated by mint sets and polished examples, a coin that has endured real usage is proof of resilience. It's proof that even the smallest and most overlooked objects have the potential to leave a mark. Literally and figuratively, collectors in the 35 to 65 plus age range often appreciate this narrative more than younger audiences. They understand that life itself is marked by wear and tear. They recognize the parallels between human experience and a coin's surface. A heavily circulated 1999 coin isn't damaged. It's seasoned. It carries a story of decades in wallets, pockets, and cash registers, and that story has value, both historically and emotionally. Despite its rough exterior, the 1999 coin began drawing interest among collectors who specialize in survival rates and historical context. The rarity of finding even one surviving example in reasonable condition, after more than 2 decades of circulation, elevated its desirability. Unlike pristine mint coins that sat untouched, these coins bore witness to daily life in Australia at the turn of the millennium. They are, in essence, a tactile memory of an era when change jingled in pockets and wallets everywhere. Another fascinating aspect of the 1999 coin is the role of perception in value. Many casual collectors overlook coins that appear worn. They assume that only flawless examples are worth attention. But seasoned collectors know differently. Value is often about scarcity and context. When a coin survives in any condition, especially one that experienced high circulation, it becomes a marker of history. Over time, even rough examples can command attention, particularly when the market starts to recognize the limited availability of those that remain. In this way, bad condition coins have a subtle, almost paradoxical appeal. The 1999 5-cent coin also highlights an important principle in collecting. Opportunity favors the observant. Those who take the time to sift through overlooked collections, local markets, and forgotten drawers often uncover treasures hidden in plain sight. They understand that what others dismiss as insignificant may, with a bit of insight, become something truly remarkable. The thrill lies not only in acquisition but in recognition, the realization that patience and attention can reveal stories that casual observers never notice. In recent years, the 1999 coin has increasingly attracted collectors interested in historical continuity. It is a snapshot of Australia's monetary life at the end of the 20th century, a period of social stability, gradual economic growth, and quiet progress. For a collector, holding this coin is like holding a small piece of that era. It is an object that embodies ordinary life, yet carries extraordinary context when viewed through the lens of scarcity and survival. Market evaluations reflect this growing recognition. While many examples remain common, coins that have survived in decent shape are now commanding significant attention. not because they suddenly became flashy or dramatic, but because the market gradually learned to appreciate the narrative embedded in every mark, dent, and faded luster. Collectors value what time and history have silently curated, but there's also an element of emotional resonance here that should not be underestimated. For someone who has spent decades observing trends, noting subtleties, and preserving meaningful artifacts, finding a 1999 coin, even in less than perfect condition, is a victory. It is the satisfaction of understanding that the ordinary can conceal the extraordinary, that a worn surface can carry a story far richer than any shiny new coin, and in some ways, the 1999 coin is a teacher. It teaches patience, attention to detail, and an appreciation for survival. It challenges collectors to look beyond superficial appearance and to value the lessons embedded in the passage of time. It reminds us that not all treasures are immediately obvious, and not all value is visible at first glance. Some value emerges only after careful observation and thoughtful consideration, a principle that resonates deeply with mature collectors. Moreover, the 1999 coin emphasizes the notion of perspective in collecting. The same coin might appear worthless to one person, yet to another, with knowledge and context, it represents a rare opportunity. That contrast is the essence of collector insight, the ability to see potential where others see only where, to recognize historical significance where others see mere currency, and to understand that true value often requires patience, discernment, and experience. Collectors have also noted that bad condition coins can become conversation starters. They tell a story of life lived, commerce conducted, and decades past. These coins embody ordinary moments and connect them to broader narratives, offering a tactile link to the past that resonates with those who have lived long enough to appreciate continuity, change, and endurance. Ultimately, the 1999 Australian 5-cent coin is about more than just monetary assessment. It is a symbol of perseverance and recognition. It is proof that overlooked objects can gain significance over time, and that what appears humble today can become a treasure tomorrow. It is a coin that rewards careful observation, historical awareness, and patience, the very qualities that seasoned collectors cultivate. The lesson is clear: value is often hidden in plain sight, and opportunity favors those willing to look closely. For collectors aged 35 to 65 plus, the 1999 coin embodies a narrative they understand intimately. Its worth is not measured solely in dollars or cents, but in the stories it carries, the history it represents, and the satisfaction it delivers to those who appreciate the quiet power of survival and recognition. Why now? As collectors continue to search, discuss, and acquire, the 1999 coin has carved out its place in the numismatic landscape. Not flashy, not immediately obvious, but quietly compelling. Its journey from overlooked circulation piece to recognized collectible mirrors the very principles of life: persistence, patience, and the understanding that true value is often revealed over time, not immediately apparent to the casual observer. Its current market value, for those fortunate enough to find a surviving example, reflects this growing recognition. While it may not reach the extreme heights of rarer, pristine coins, it commands respect among collectors who understand the depth of its story, the rarity of survival, and the subtle thrill of discovery that comes with appreciating a coin most people once ignored. Now we turn our focus to the 1984 Australian 5-cent coin, a coin that, in many ways, tells an even richer story than the ones that followed. Unlike the 1998 and 1999 coins, the 1984 issue existed in a different economic and cultural landscape. Australia was navigating the early 1980s with a mix of modernization and tradition, and coin production reflected a steady, meticulous approach to circulation. Millions of 5-cent pieces were minted, yet the conditions of the time meant that not all coins survived equally. Some became lost in the tide of commerce, some preserved carefully by the forward-thinking collector, and others bore the marks of decades spent exchanging hands. This coin stands out not because it was flashy or rare upon release, but because of the subtle factors that have given it enduring significance today. Over nearly 4 decades, the 1984 coin has experienced extensive circulation, and those that survived in high quality now command considerable attention. Collectors recognize that time and scarcity combine to elevate its value. Unlike newer coins, which may still be widely available in the market, examples from 1984 are steadily becoming more challenging to find, particularly those that have retained any significant degree of detail or luster. The beauty of the 1984 coin lies not only in its physical design but also in the narrative it represents. The reverse features the iconic echidna, symbolizing endurance, adaptability, and quiet resilience, qualities mirrored in the coin's own journey. Collectors appreciate the design for its elegance and historical continuity. The coin is not just a unit of currency. It is a witness to decades of everyday Australian life, quietly circulating in pockets, purses, and cash registers, leaving a trail of stories embedded in its worn surfaces. Condition plays a crucial role in understanding the 1984 coin's value. Unlike coins freshly struck for mint sets, many 1984 5-cent pieces endured heavy wear, which over time became a testament to their survival. Each scratch, dent, or smoothed edge tells a story of commerce and human interaction. To the experienced collector, these imperfections are not flaws. They are proof of authenticity and endurance. Coins in better condition, preserved by foresight or luck, are now considered rare and carry significantly higher market recognition. Collectors aged 35 to 65 plus resonate deeply with this narrative. They understand time, endurance, and the importance of preservation. They've lived through decades of change and can intuitively appreciate the story behind an ordinary coin that has quietly persisted. This generational perspective aligns perfectly with the 1984 5-cent coin's journey, offering a tangible link to both history and memory. Market trends have reflected the increasing recognition of the 1984 coin's significance. While millions were minted, the pool of coins in superior condition has diminished due to natural wear and attrition. This scarcity creates a natural increase in value. Collectors who identify high-quality examples often find themselves at the center of intense interest, as fewer coins of this vintage meet the standards demanded by experienced numismatists. Over time, the coin's worth has grown steadily, and today it commands significant attention in both private collections and specialist markets. The emotional appeal of the 1984 coin is equally compelling. It represents endurance, foresight, and patience. There's a quiet thrill in discovering a well-preserved example, holding it in one's hand, and realizing that despite decades of circulation, this small piece has remained intact. For many, the coin becomes a connection to the past, a tactile reminder of continuity, and a story of survival that transcends monetary value. The coin's journey also emphasizes the importance of collector insight. While casual observers might overlook it as just another small piece of currency, seasoned collectors see opportunity. They recognize the role of historical context, condition, and scarcity in shaping value. They understand that a coin's story, embedded in its surface and its past, is often as important as its immediate market price. Indeed, the 1984 5-cent coin demonstrates that value is as much about perspective as it is about scarcity. A worn coin may appear ordinary, but in reality, it carries decades of history. It offers lessons in patience and observation, teaching collectors to recognize significance where others see only commonality. The coin rewards those willing to look closer, study its details, and appreciate its journey. For collectors focused on long-term value, the 1984 coin represents a particularly strong opportunity. Its rarity in high grades is steadily increasing as the years pass. Each surviving example becomes a marker of careful preservation or fortunate escape from circulation. The longer time goes on, the more pronounced the scarcity becomes, making the 1984 coin not just a collectible but a strategic acquisition for those seeking both historical significance and enduring value. This coin also holds symbolic weight for collectors who appreciate continuity. It's a bridge between decades, a connection between the past and present, demonstrating how ordinary items can acquire extraordinary meaning over time. Its value is both tangible and intangible, merging market potential with historical resonance in private collections, auctions, and exchanges. The 1984 5-cent coin has increasingly been recognized as a cornerstone for any serious Australian coin collection. Its reputation is not built on hype but on substance, survival, condition, and historical context. Collectors who have followed its story over the years understand that this coin is a rare intersection of accessibility and historical weight. It is tangible proof that ordinary objects, when preserved and understood, can become exceptional. As we consider its journey, the 1984 coin teaches a profound lesson: that longevity and resilience are qualities worth valuing. For mature collectors, this aligns with life experience itself. Patience, observation, and foresight often yield rewards beyond immediate gratification. The coin's story mirrors this principle perfectly. By identifying and appreciating coins like this, collectors not only build financial value but also preserve history, memory, and meaning. Today, the 1984 Australian 5-cent coin in high-quality condition commands significant market attention, reflecting both its rarity and the respect it has earned among collectors. Its story is compelling because it demonstrates the power of time, endurance, and observation. It's a testament to what happens when ordinary objects survive extraordinary circumstances, and a reminder that the most valuable discoveries often require patience, discernment, and an eye for hidden significance. Finally, we arrive at the 2001 Australian 5-cent coin, a coin that may appear modern and common at first glance, yet carries its own quietly compelling story. By the turn of the millennium, coin production in Australia had become highly industrialized, precise, and efficient. Millions of 5-cent coins were minted for circulation, intended to support everyday commerce rather than collectability. At the time, no one expected these small pieces to become sought-after items decades later. Yet, as with all coins, the passage of time, patterns of survival, and the discerning eye of collectors have a way of transforming even the most ordinary into something remarkable. What makes the 2001 coin particularly interesting is its survival rate. While millions were produced, the coins that have endured in reasonably good condition are steadily diminishing. Everyday handling, friction in wallets and cash registers, and exposure to environmental factors mean that truly well-preserved examples are rare. The majority of these coins show signs of wear, scratches, or fading, which underscores the rarity and value of those that have remained intact. For collectors who understand this dynamic, a surviving 2001 coin in decent condition is far more than simple currency. It is a tangible artifact of early 21st century Australia. Collectors aged 35 to 65 plus often resonate deeply with coins like this because they embody continuity, memory, and perspective. These are coins that have existed throughout the adult lives of many collectors. Coins that may have jostled in pockets during the early 2000s, witnessed family transactions, or been exchanged countless times for everyday needs. Holding one today is like holding a small, silent witness to a formative period of life and commerce, connecting the present with the recent past in a personal and meaningful way. Despite its relatively modern origin, the 2001 coin has already begun to gain attention among serious collectors. Not due to flashy errors or dramatic rarity, but because of the natural attrition of coins in circulation. The highest quality examples are scarce, making them desirable for collectors seeking completeness or looking for coins that have resisted the wear and tear of decades. The value here is subtle yet undeniable, emerging from scarcity, condition, and historical context rather than immediate visual appeal. The narrative of the 2001 coin also reflects an essential truth about collecting. Value is not always obvious, and true appreciation often comes with time. Many collectors initially overlooked coins from this period, assuming modern pieces held little long-term significance. However, those who examined patterns of survival and studied minting statistics realized that the coin could hold considerable potential. This is a classic illustration of patience and insight paying off, a principle that resonates strongly with experienced collectors who understand that time is often the ultimate arbiter of value. Furthermore, the coin's story reinforces the importance of perspective. A coin that seems mundane today may, in decades, become a sought-after collectible simply because the survivors are few, and the story of survival becomes part of its appeal. For the 2001 5-cent coin, this dynamic is already in motion. Observant collectors are noting that coins preserved in pockets, coin albums, or sealed storage are steadily increasing in desirability, underscoring the lesson that even common pieces can become treasures over time. The 2001 coin also highlights the connection between daily life and numismatic significance. These coins circulated widely among ordinary people, used to pay for groceries, public transport, and small transactions. Each coin carries the imprint of countless small exchanges, making it a physical record of everyday history. In this sense, collecting is more than an exercise in financial value. It is a form of preserving ordinary human experience. The coin becomes a bridge between past and present, a tactile reminder of the small moments that define everyday life. Mature collectors appreciate the subtlety of such coins. They understand that not every valuable collectible is immediately glamorous or flashy. True value often resides in endurance, scarcity, and context. The 2001 5-cent coin exemplifies these principles perfectly. It demonstrates how ordinary objects, when observed carefully and preserved thoughtfully, can transform into highly sought-after items with both historical and monetary significance. As market awareness of the 2001 coin grows, its value reflects this recognition. Well-preserved examples, though modest in size and appearance, have become increasingly desirable, commanding attention from collectors who understand both its rarity and the story it embodies. The coin's journey from everyday currency to collectible artifact exemplifies the timeless principle that observation, patience, and discernment uncover hidden opportunity. Taken together, these 4 Australian 5-cent coins, the 1998, 1999, 1984, and 2001 issues, illustrate the fascinating interplay between time, condition, and historical context. Each coin has a story to tell, whether through survival, circulation, or subtle scarcity. They remind collectors that value is rarely static and that careful attention can reveal treasures even in the smallest denominations. For the seasoned collector, the takeaway is clear. Never underestimate ordinary coins, because hidden within their surfaces is history, endurance, and potential. The 1998 coin rewards insight and observation. The 1999 coin teaches the power of survival and perspective. The 1984 coin embodies longevity and continuity, and the 2001 coin highlights the quiet emergence of value over time. Together, they form a narrative that transcends mere currency, offering lessons in patience, foresight, and the art of recognizing significance where others see only the ordinary. As for the financial perspective, collectors who have sought out these coins in excellent condition have seen remarkable appreciation. The 1998 Australian 5-cent coin can reach values around $86,000, the 1999 in bad condition around $80,000, the 1984 coin commanding up to $185,000 for well-preserved examples, and the 2001 coin valued at approximately $50,000. These numbers are not merely about profit. They reflect recognition of rarity, survival, and the narrative embedded in each coin's journey. In the end, collecting these coins is more than a pursuit of monetary gain. It is an engagement with history, a study of endurance, and an exercise in discernment. Each coin carries the echoes of countless exchanges, small yet meaningful moments, and the quiet story of survival across decades. For collectors aged 35 to 65 plus, who understand the interplay of time, patience, and insight, these coins offer both financial opportunity and a deeply satisfying connection to the past. These 4 coins, small and unassuming though they may be, stand as a testament to the enduring power of observation, foresight, and historical awareness. They remind us that value is often hidden, waiting for those willing to look closely, wait patiently, and recognize the extraordinary in the seemingly ordinary. This concludes the full journey through the 1998, 1999, 1984, and 2001 Australian 5-cent coins, their stories, and their value.